All right, we're back. Episode 22, TJ Martino podcast. We're here on the deck, and I got Harrison Kurz and now recurring guest Jack Quehl with me, and we're gonna just have some fun, talk it out. Haven't been on in a while. I finally have new equipment. I finally invested in some new stuff, so I got big things coming for this podcast. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, a lot of stuff I want to get to. One step at a time. I want to welcome my two guests here. Obviously, Jack, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, man.
You were here last time when we were using the terrible snowball microphone, and we were all huddled around it, just trying to.
Yeah, we had the fire truck that went through too.
Yeah, and a lot of outside noise. Those things picked up a lot of outside noise, so it was like it's nice to actually have real microphones again instead of, having to settle. And Harry, good to have you here, man.
Yeah.
First time on the pod. How's it feel?
Happy to be here. Looking forward to it.
All right, great. And how have you guys been? Anything new, interesting you want to bring to the table?
I mean, man, not a whole lot going on these days.
I know. The struggle is real out here, folks. We're into the deep into the pandemic at this point. But we're getting out of it, actually.
Yeah, we're starting to get some sports back, which is nice.
I know.
Yeah.
NBA bubble has been much needed. I've been watching a lot of it.
You know what? Honestly, at the beginning of the bubble, I kind of was like, this is feels a little summer league-ish. But now they figured it out.
I was excited too because the whole Trailblazers thing that's gone on so far, and how just exciting that's been of them fighting for the 8 seed. And then you realize they're only just fighting for the 8 seed of the playoffs. It's just gonna get so much better. That was just the 8 seed.
They're fighting to play the Lakers in the first round.
I know. So. Dame went nuts though. He's looking nice.
Yeah, he's great.
The thing about them is they're good, and they have scoring all the way through, and they also have a lot of size, so they can be kind of physically demanding for the Lakers.
Yeah, they're going to be a fun team, I think. Because Nurkic, he's a big thing for them, man. He's been nice. I like him a lot.
He's good, but he misses a lot of layups.
Yeah, he's not the best finisher.
Which is I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating for an NBA player to do that.
He's really good at the free throw line though, and obviously the rebounding and the shot blocking. I mean, he's been huge for them. They needed size so bad.
Yeah.
And when he got hurt, because they were looking really good before he got injured, I think a year or two ago, and then once he went down, they had some struggles.
Yeah, Whiteside's been a good pickup for him too, though. He's leading the league in block shots.
Yeah, he's been solid off the bench.
Yeah, they've been a fun team. That game with Memphis yesterday was a barn burner. Yeah, we got the playoffs coming up tomorrow.
The Gary Trent Jr. guy's doing solid too.
He's nice. He's nice. He can spot up and shoot, and he's pretty physical on defense too. Yeah. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, my Sixers. Here's TJ's Sixers rant of the day. I am so frustrated with this team right now. The injuries, obviously. I mean, the thing was that Brett Brown had promised that this team was going to have a new look, kind of more fast-paced, more shooting. And when they came out, they looked just as flat as they did in February. In that first game against the Pacers, I remember being they haven't missed a step. Yeah. And then obviously Ben Simmons goes out, missing the rest of the year. I
kind of think that's a little bit of a sign it's time for Brett to part ways.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done sticking up for Brett. I stuck up for Brett Brown for too long. I'm over it. I mean, it's just he gets outcoached every single time. It's not even every single coach has his number. It seems like Nurse every time outcoaches him. Nate McMillan made him look like a fool, and Nate McMillan's not even that great of a coach. So I mean, the offense is so awkward, and there's not enough ball handling.
If you could replace Brown with any head coach that's not currently employed, that's unemployed, right now, who would it be?
Including college?
Monty Williams.
I'll include college coaches.
I would say Monty Williams, Jay Wright, or I like who's the guy from Kenny Atkinson. I like Kenny Atkinson.
Kenny Atkinson too.
Yeah,
those would be my 3 picks probably. But Jay Wright would never do it. And
what about Ty Lue or Jason Kidd?
No, definitely not Kidd. I would maybe Ty Lue, but I've never been huge on Ty Lue's X's and O's either. But He has a ring.
But people
so-
kind of want him. I mean, the Pelicans even talked about getting him after
Yeah.
they just fired Alvin Gentry. So
Yeah, we'll see.
for whatever reason, his name gets brought up quite a bit in those kind of conversations.
So, who do you guys got winning it all?
Lakers.
I think the Lakers will probably win, but I think the Rockets are built really solid for the bubble start. I've been saying this since the bubble started, because their offense is all just threes and dunks, they don't shoot inefficient shots and go into the free throw all the time. The only thing, obviously they lose a lot in the playoffs because they'll have a game where they go cold and then they just get killed. But if they can stay hot and kind of avoid those the games where Harden has the nickname now for disappearing in the elimination games because he always plays or shoots bad in the last game.
Yeah, the playoffs have been, up and down for him.
But I think I would pick them to play the Lakers. I can't think of the bracket in my head right now, but that they're whenever they would play the Lakers, that would probably be the best series that could happen in the West.
Yeah.
But do you think, AD could just dominate their small ball? AD, I think, is one of the most valuable weapons. I think he probably is the most valuable weapon to a team. I mean, he needs someone to play aside him because, he's not like Bron and Giannis that can just lead any team. But AD is a problem. He can do literally everything. He's an absolute monster defensively. I don't know. I think that's what separates the Lakers from most teams.
You think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year?
I mean, obviously Frank Vogel was saying he wants him to, but
yeah, that was the mission from day one.
Dude, if Giannis doesn't win MVP and someone else does, they're going to give Defensive Player of the Year to Giannis.
You think? Yeah, I think so too. I think it's either Giannis or AD. I think either one will
Yeah,
work. But I think if they give Giannis the MVP, they're going to give AD the Defensive Player of the Year.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So
it's crazy that he could win both of those though, being MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
He's really that good. He's really that good.
Do you think he leaves?
No, I don't know.
I don't either. I just hope he doesn't end up on a fucking Golden State. Can you swear on here?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Golden State. That would just be worst case scenario.
I know. You could totally see it happening too.
I know. That's why
you could totally
it
see
sucks.
him tampering
It's
that into existence.
realistic.
They probably already have started some of that.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. Steph and Clay and Draymond just sitting around. They're definitely gonna be recruiting people.
Right.
You think they could trade because they're probably gonna have the number 1 pick this year? You think they could trade that and Wiggins for a really solid star that doesn't his team? Who would be the first pick this year?
It would be maybe Anthony Bennett from Georgia.
Yeah, it's not a really solid class.
No, it's really not. So I don't know. I wouldn't trade away a star player for the first pick this year. Probably.
Yeah, that'd be quite the decision. But I mean, at the same time,
But if they could pick up maybe I don't know what they really need. I was gonna say a Ben Simmons, who's people are talking about trading for him. But,
yeah, but he's a Giannis.
But I don't think they would. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. They're definitely gonna try and pull something though, because they don't want to do another year of what they did this year.
Right.
It was awful.
So you're saying, why do you think Lakers this year?
I said it. AD. I think he's the most valuable
So you just
weapon. And then obviously, LeBron's my guy. I've been a LeBron fan forever, and he's a legend. So
see, here's my thing on the Lakers. I said in my NBA season thing with John Haspel, check that out. It's a funny episode now, especially looking back, because I did get a lot right in that video, but I did get some wrong too. I was very wrong about the Grizzlies. I was very wrong about the Suns. But anyway, what were we talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, AD and the Lakers.
And
LeBron. So here's my thing on the Lakers. I totally did not think they were going to be as good this year as they were. They totally overperformed for me. I thought the bench and the shooting was going to be the problem. I knew AD and LeBron were going to just basically keep them in every game. But I thought if one of them went down, AD had played a lot more games this year than I thought he was going to. So the fact that he did that was good. And LeBron, but the thing was I just thought without those two on the floor, this team just has nothing. And I think some of those guys stepped up, KCP and Kuzma and some of these other guys stepped up and scored. Dwight Howard, they stepped up and started making plays, and I was really surprised by that from the Lakers. And I knew they were going to be good. I said they'd be 3 in the West. They end up being the top seed by far, but you know, they I just think in the playoffs, I'm very excited to see what they can do, because they're going to need more than just those two if they're going to beat a deep team like the Clippers or a fast team like the Rockets. It's going to take a little bit more than what they have. I mean, I think they have the pieces to win, but I just think those guys need to like be consistent, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a pretty tough road, too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the West in general, though, is just brutal.
Yeah, it's always a gauntlet.
But I don't know. The Clippers are pretty dangerous, too. People are kind of sleeping on them right now just because of the Lakers hype and stuff.
Yeah, I think I like the Clippers, honestly, in a series against the Lakers.
I think, like, they might have more talent than the Lakers do, you know,
they're
top
deeper.
To bottom, but are they? The Lakers are pretty deep.
I think the Clippers are deeper, and the Clippers have been missing Montrezl Harrell for all.
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm saying. Him coming back,
6 Man of the Year candidate. So I mean, he's going to come back.
Lou
Will's back now. Pat Bev will be back. Like, this team is they were ridiculous this year when all those guys were on the floor. So I mean,
yeah, I'm not a huge believer. I've never been like a hugely bought into Paul George though at all.
Really,
I think he always gets thrown into that first tier of stars, and he hasn't really won very much, and he's bounced around, and I mean, he's got the raw talent.
He's been dealt some bad hands, and he's played a lot against like some great teams in his career. Like, if you really think about it, like the LeBron Heat team gave that team fits a lot.
Yeah,
early when he played for the Pacers, and then that Thunder team was interesting for a year. So I don't know. I like PG. I think he's solid, but I could see how you could say that, because like he kind of does get lost in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really love him either. Just like, he doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, understand.
But we'll see if he shows up. I mean,
Quehl, who do you got winning?
I think the Lakers probably will win. Like, if I had to choose other than Lakers, I mean, obviously the Bucks are pretty solid in the East, and all that jazz. But I don't know in the West. No, not the Jazz. No. The Mavericks are like kind of like fringe scary.
They are. I really like the Mavericks.
Porzingis has been playing really well.
I slept on the Mavericks this year.
Luka's Luka.
I slept on the Mavericks for kind of the same reason I slept on the Lakers, just because I just didn't think that some of the other guys, the shooting around them was going to be as effective as it was. I mean, you know, the Mavericks got some guys, Curry and Hardaway, and you know,
the Raptors are a lot better than people thought they were. The Raptors are kind of fun to watch.
They are. Dude, I thought the Raptors were going to trade people, and that's why I had them lower. I had them at 6, I think. I had them at the 6th seed. They overperformed.
I mean, they won over 50 games. That's pretty damn impressive for losing your Finals MVP.
The two teams that I was wrong about, though, were, like I said, the Grizzlies and, like I said, the Mavericks. But it was the Grizzlies and the Thunder. Those were the two teams that I was really wrong about, because I thought the Thunder were just going to trade everybody away and get more draft picks and cap. But they honestly just thought they had a team to compete, and they were right. Like, they're really good this year. Like, I was not expecting that.
Shea Alexander, Kentucky boy,
he's
baby.
nice.
He is a dog.
He's
love
nice.
that, man.
I knew he was going to be good. I just didn't know how to fit with like CP3 and like.
People didn't even know if CP3 was going to end up like suiting up for him.
Right, he was. Yeah, but I mean, they're a playoff team. Like, it's crazy. They're like legit.
They're pretty dangerous too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong about Memphis and them. Memphis, I was very wrong about. I thought they were going to suck outside of like their young players, but all their young players are good.
Yeah, Jaws like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting this playoffs. I'll be doing more on it as it proceeds. But yeah, coming in my pick. I haven't even given my pick yet.
Oh, who you got? You can't go Lakers.
From what I've seen in the bubble, and I've watched, a handful of games, I really like the Clippers, man. I think this is the year for the Clippers. I do. I really love this team. I've loved them since day one. I mean, the Kawhi and Paul George, tandem. I mean, they're two of the best two-way players the game has to offer. The depth, like I said, is going to be huge for them in the playoffs. I like them. I mean, but like I said, I could see a lot of teams winning this year. This is a really fun year. for the NBA. So.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. NBA always puts on a show, so.
And it's crazy how the atmosphere of the bubble has like changed a lot about the game. Like, you know, the sidelines being like pushed back. Like, I remember there was like a play in like one of the games. I think it was like the Lakers game or something, and like Alex Caruso or somebody went out of bounds to go get a ball, and like they saved it back. They saved the ball, like threw it back into bounds, and then like what they would have done is probably fallen into like the crowd. But since there was no crowd there, they just fell on the ground and got back up and were able to get back into the play and make a play. Like that ended up winning the game for them. Like it was crazy. I remember watching it and being like, wow, like that would not have happened if there was crowd there. So it's like crazy how that kind of stuff affects the game. But yeah,
the bubble works though. The bubble works.
The bubble does work.
Bubble works.
It's been working. So they're doing that for hockey too, right?
Yeah, which is also
they're
working.
doing 2 bubbles, I think, right?
Yeah, they do have 2 different bubbles.
People sleep on like hockey going on right now.
Playoff hockey's great.
Yeah, it's awesome, but
Blue
you kind of
Jackets.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Blue Jackets are looking good. I have to say.
Didn't the Lightning beat them last night?
I don't know. I watched the one game that went to like 4 overtimes or whatever, 5 overtimes.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 2-1 Lightning, man.
Oh, well. Then I guess the Jackets aren't looking that good. But
I think the Blackhawks got swept last night. It's best of 5 in the first round, right?
Yeah.
So Jack, we didn't even talk about this on our last episode when you were on, but you have 2 Instagram accounts.
Oh yeah, I do.
You want to, promote those?
Like the 2 aside from me, or like
yeah.
So I'm trying to be a social media superstar on 2 different Instagram accounts. The first one is Crossword Jack, no spaces. Every time I'm able to finish the Wall Street Journal crossword, I post the completed crossword on it. That's literally the entire account. But the much better one and the more consistent one is number 1 water fan. The word number, then the number, and then water fan, no spaces. Where every restaurant I go to, I review their ice water. So I actually have 49 water reviews already, all from different areas of the country, actually.
Why water?
I kind of started it after, like, people, like, because you know how, like, I mean, obviously you have, like, the big food review, like, YouTube accounts and, like personalities that, like, have like some sort of scale or something.
Yeah.
But then like when people like that like they try to start rating stuff like on an account and like trying to do that and just like it just gets kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So I made the water one as kind of like a joke of a food review because every water just gets a 1 out of 1 every review because it's just water or it's not water. So
have you ever had water that you thought was water and it wasn't water?
Like accidentally drink like a water bottle of vodka or like
I don't know, like you said like it gets a 1 out of 1 like because has there ever been a 0 out of 1?
No, because it wouldn't be water.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. That's true. And the crosswords, I
only post them like if I actually finish the crossword because like I try not to cheat on them.
Yeah.
But like
I feel like with those like I've never actually done a crossword puzzle before. I feel like
it's really feast or famine. Like sometimes you're getting like like a 4-day streak of crosswords, and then you might go a week without finishing one. Like you just get on a roll.
What if you don't know the answer? Do you just
like I'll just stop trying.
You won't even look it up.
No, like if I don't get like
just give up on a crossword.
Yeah, like I'll just I have a couple like in my room that's just like it's like maybe a quarter of the way filled in,
like
and then I just couldn't.
It's like a loss.
Yeah,
so whenever
like the crossword beat me.
You should post a record.
You should, you should keep a record. You versus the crosswords.
I should. I guess I can start that.
Do you think would you be winning the majority of the time?
Ooh, let me see. I can figure it out because I can just go to when I posted the first one and then see how many days it's been since then.
So you do try them every day?
What?
You try them every day?
Yeah, like when the newspaper comes in the morning. I don't like. Sometimes I'll read the newspaper, but not really. And then like, I usually just grab it, pull the crossword page out.
When do you think the last day that they have a newspaper is going to be? Like what ballpark? What's your estimate year that they're going to stop throwing newspapers on your driveway?
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's always going to somehow figure out how to be a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it'll. What day? Like, what year do you think it'll completely go digital and they'll just completely stop printing paper newspapers?
Dude, there's no way they'll ever that. What do you think?
I'm 10 and 26 in crosswords,
saying,
by the way.
What are you?
Oh no, 10 and 16.
All right,
that's actually not a bad record.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think the fastest you've ever finished one is? Even though you don't finish some,
I time some of them. Like I put my timer on. The fastest one on the account I did was, 1 sec. When did I start? 27, 55, 45, 27. 27. I got two 27-minuters.
Nice.
So, what are most of the questions that they ask? Is it mostly like pop culture, or is it just like a mixed bag of science and history and all that stuff combined?
It's like it's kind of a mixed bag. There's a lot of references to like TV shows and movies. Usually the movies are like pretty older for like an older crowd.
Right.
So like sometimes it'll be a movie from like the 50s or 60s and it's like it'll be like a blank like and then the last name of some actress in it. So like the answer is her first name and I'm like I don't know any actresses from like the 1940s. But it's those and then there's like some that recur, like the clue will like keep coming up in different ones and it's like always the same answer. So that like you kind of get better at them
nice.
if you do that a lot.
Yeah.
Throw you a little
it's kind
bone.
of kind of a way to keep people playing, I feel like.
Yeah. And then the other ones are just kind of like general like trivia. Like, sometimes like what river is London on or like something like that.
What river is London on?
I think it's on the Thames, but I could be completely wrong.
Fair enough.
Crossword game, man. It's dog world out there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dog world. And that's crazy. It's cutthroat. I wonder if they have like crossword like tournaments. Where they sit everybody down with like the same crossword and see who can do it the fastest.
They probably do.
Without like any like put them in a room without any like way of having resources.
The Friday one, at least on the Wall Street Journal, like if you do it online, any other day of the week, like you can hit like check when you type something into the crossword and it'll like tell you if the letter you put there is right or wrong. But the Friday one, you can't do that. And it's like a competition, like it times you.
Oh.
So like when you finish the Friday one online, you can like literally like submit it. And I guess I've never submitted it. So I don't know like if it just puts you on like a leaderboard or something. But like you can't check the answers, so it's definitely a lot tougher.
So it's like kind of like an online test.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what you get if you win. Like maybe like a Wall Street Journal T-shirt or something.
So, does anyone use TikTok here?
Nope.
I don't. I downloaded it once and like I never even made an account, and it just started sending me like notifications on my home screen of like. It would be like Ashley Tisdale's going live on TikTok right now. And I was just kind of like weirded out because I didn't even make an account. So I was like, why is it like sending Ashley Tisdale to this just
like
I literally just had the app. I didn't even have an account. So I was like, why, how is this even sending us to my phone right now? So I deleted it.
Yeah. I had it for about a week back in like April. I tried it out. I think after I recorded like the podcast in April, because I think like whoever I had on was mentioning it, and so I went and downloaded it, and I tried it for about a week, and as soon as I got it on, I scrolled through it for about an hour, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
It's like too much.
I was like, I can't. Like, I'm like, this is just mind numbing, and you know, then you see like all of like the national security like concerns about it, and you're just like, the ends just don't justify the means here, like. You know, even if that stuff is all bullshit, like, still just like there's so many things I'd rather be doing than, you know, wasting my time watching girls do dances. You know,
and some of the people who are like really famous on there are so cringeworthy.
I know.
Like God forbid one of their videos pops up on your screen.
And you know they are like
these kids.
I will say the algorithm is brilliant because like they know exactly like what you want. Like. I can totally see how like it could just hypnotize like kids because like they know exactly like how long you like because they track like how long you stay on a video, whose videos you're watching, like what part of the world you're in. You know, it's all like the algorithm is so dense, like that it's like if they have out all that information, like you can only imagine.
Like building an algorithm around like what a little kid does, you're just like harvesting information for years and years and years.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Yeah, I've never thought about it
like these kids are starting real young with this stuff now. It's like, man, they're going to know every single thing about them.
Yeah, and what they like, what they want, you know. It's all there.
Yeah, they're...
You know? It's like, yeah, that's just like... I trust American companies more, I suppose. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe it's that hometown feeling. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but even all these social medias are pretty much very similar to that, though.
Kind
You're targeted a lot.
Yeah. I mean...
On Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
like
Instagram ads
are like, you could say the word, like, Snickers, and next thing you know, I might even have a Snickers ad on my Instagram right now. Like, that stuff's quick.
They are really accurate with it, though, I will say.
They're listening, man.
They're very good with it. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing, but
no, it's like they tell you what you want to see,
right? But it does the job very well. Like the fact that, and like it's so crazy how we were all like at first when that first started happening, I started feeling really paranoid, and now like when it happens, I'm just like, you assholes, like listening in on me, like.
It's weird because like when you describe it like that, like how they're listening, like everyone like hates that and doesn't want that. But then, like, when they use the app and they get, like, a really good targeted ad and, like, go buy something on it, like, they're, like, it's, like, it's weird because it's, like, no one wants it, but it provides, like, such, like, an ease to everything else.
Yeah, a lot
like,
of value.
Yeah, I just got an NBA store advertisement. We just talked about the NBA for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Adam Silver's listening. He's listening. But, yeah, it's crazy that, like, direct-to-consumer marketing, like, the way we're seeing that kind of come through the phones. Like, it's crazy how like your phone, like your most personal item, like could be infiltrated by like businesses trying to sell you shit. Like, isn't that kind of a crazy idea? I mean, I guess it makes sense because like once you connect to the internet, you are at the, you know, the will of the internet. So yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. It's kind of scary a little bit, but
yeah, but when you think about it, like I kind of try to rationalize it by just thinking like everybody's being spied on, and like I really don't have that much to hide. Like,
oh right, like there's definitely people out there that would rather, they're in way more trouble than we are.
Right, I'm like I have a podcast, like I'm already an open book. So if you really want to snoop on my phone, I don't have anything worth hiding. But at the same time, if you want to sell me, you know, something on my Instagram feed, I'll give it a look.
Have you ever bought something off of an advertisement like that?
No, I have not.
I've bought a pair of shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
I don't know if
maybe
I have.
I
bought some Ultra Boosts off, from Adidas on one.
Yeah.
I still wear them. Wore them today.
They're nice. I like those Ultra Boosts. I like the Alpha Bounce too. I have a pair of those. But yeah, those Ultra Boosts. I need to get a pair of those. I wanted to get the Game of Thrones ones. Have you seen those?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I honestly, though,
those are cool.
To be honest with you, I didn't watch Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I would check it out.
No, I mean, obviously, everyone says it's great. Actually, this is kind of fucked. I only watched the 8th season. That was the only one I watched.
Wow.
Yeah, because all the guys in my house were watching it, and like that was like every person in the house would crowd in one room and watch it. And I'm like, I'm not just gonna sit around and do nothing. So that's what I did. I watched season 8 of Thrones. Can't say I was impressed.
Yeah, you watched like the worst
one.
The worst season, yeah, by far. But and the last season too. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So even if I restarted it, I just know how everything ends regardless.
Yeah, I was disappointed. That was the biggest disappointment in 2019. That's all I got to say about that. I'll eventually like sit down and like talk about everything that I hate about it and love about it, but that's for another day.
I've got a hot take. I think Westworld can and is gonna surpass Game of Thrones as a better TV show. I really do. I
didn't love the last Westworld season.
I gave up on Westworld.
Season 3 got kind of like a little bit out there and kind of intense, and then
but
really
I think
corny.
the thing is with Thrones. I mean, I guess I didn't really watch Thrones, but my perception of it, it sounds like easier to follow than Westworld.
Yeah, Westworld you gotta
Westworld
focus.
gets like deep. And,
the only
like,
thing
intellectual.
with Thrones is there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of settings. There's a lot of titles and hierarchies and politics and all of that. Like, and that's what makes it great. But at the same time, like, for the casual person, you need a little bit more patience with it because it's the first season's a lot of exposition dump, but you need it because
I just think like. To like a normal person watching Westworld, like there's certain aspects of it that almost make you like second guess yourself and like try and figure out what's happening. There's so many different little.
Yeah, the first season of Westworld I loved. I thought it was great.
It's a really cool concept.
Thought it was great the first season, and then the second season for me I liked. I thought it was like ambitious and like really crazy and like had some cool twists and turns, but like was really hard to follow. And the third season was the easiest one of the three to follow, but also was the worst written and had some really glaring plot holes and terrible. I mean, what's his name? Aaron Paul was terribly cast in that role, and I think he's a good actor, but he was just not good in that role. And a lot of the dialogue was really corny. Like in that scene. The scene where they go to the bank, him and Aaron Paul and Dolores go to the bank, and they go to take all that guy's money.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he takes like the blood from the one guy.
That was the biggest hunk of bullshit I've ever seen in my entire life. They literally give them no security, and he takes that guy's millions of dollars out of his bank account just like that. I was literally like, that's it. That's all. Like nobody bats on it. He didn't even look like the guy. They took a blood sample or whatever, and he had like the fake blood in him or whatever. It was bullshit. I remember watching that and not being a fan, but I liked the action. The action was good in the third season, and there was some good parts. But yeah, that's my rant. But back to Ultra Boosts. Those are really comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you run in them?
Yeah, I do everything. I played basketball in them today. Honestly,
oh, really?
Which definitely
dude, how are the courts?
Wouldn't
a
recommend
lifetime.
That. Good. Still going.
Were people playing?
Yeah, people were playing some pickup, which I don't know if that's allowed, but people were definitely playing pickup.
Yeah, they were just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're just getting to that Corona point where people are just like, doing as they please, like, and whether that's for the better or the worse.
All right, I got a question for you. When do you think the last day where like you ever see something with COVID is?
2025.
Like where people just stop talking about it.
It's gonna be 2030. We still talk about like the 1918 Spanish.
I'm
talking about on a daily basis.
We only talk about that though because
I'm talking about like
it's
it's headline news. Like there's gonna be, Corona case checks like as a highlight of the news every night.
Oh, probably a year or two. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think things have gotten a lot better than I had expected, like in April and March. But, wishful thinking, I guess.
Yeah, it's just weird time.
I know. Once in a century.
People wearing masks everywhere. It's just a freaky, like.
I know. 28 days later. That's what it's like. It's crazy. Crazy world. My kids, all I got to tell them, I lived through the COVID-19 pandemic.
You made it.
That's going to be, like, thinking about how weird it's going to be when, like, I'm telling someone about living through COVID, like, in, like, 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to explain that, like
we just sat inside and watched
going
TV.
to school and, like...
it wasn't like we were in, like, a battlefield or anything. We just sit inside all day.
Our government advised us to do nothing. That was their advice. Do nothing.
Like, it's weird that, like, it's going to be so, like grandkids are going to want to hear the stories about it so bad, but it's, like, the most, like, boring thing in the world.
No
like, quarantine is so boring. Like, it's significantly boring.
Yeah, I played video games. I watched television, watched UFC and NBA, and that was it.
Yeah, we didn't get NBA and we didn't get sports for a while.
I know.
That little time period where there was no sports on,
dude.
Like, that was really when you had to, like, find something to do.
Dude,
that was when, like, the Jordan documentary was, like,
yeah,
like
Last Dance
that was like sports
rolling.
are back. When
they
that
moved
came
it
out.
up. Yeah, it was supposed to be
And then there was the
October.
There was the Tom Brady, Tiger, Phil, and Peyton match too.
Yeah, the fucking stupid golf match.
Yeah, that was kind of whack though.
It was fun for like 3 holes, and then it was like,
yeah,
yeah. That did. Who won that? Was it Tiger Woods? Did he win?
Yeah, it was Tiger. I think it was Tiger and Peyton. Was that it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it was Tiger.
Really, but like, it's crazy. Like, they seemed like so like everything seemed like so fake in that like. Because like they couldn't really talk shit to each other with all that camera crew around. Like I bet like if they were just playing like as boys, like they would be. Just,
they'd be shooting the shit way more.
It's so much shit and like cussing, just like unapologetic. Like that's the kind of like Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning foursome I would want to see on a golf course. An unfiltered.
Oh, yeah, if you just pay for like the unfiltered.
Dude, that's. I feel like everyone's come up with that idea in their lifetime, or like someone in their friend group has. But like just like ESPN, but like cursing's allowed. Like just another ESPN where they don't blur out like cursing and stuff.
Yeah.
Why do you think it hasn't worked or hasn't caught on?
Because it's probably not from like I bet like maybe ESPN and them would be open to it, but I bet the NBA and like or like NFL and stuff like. Those leagues wouldn't be open to it because like their players are such a high standard. Like if I wouldn't care if Tom Brady's like saying the F word all game. Like I wouldn't care, but there might be like people that are like, oh, Tom Brady says the F word. Like, well, there'd still be the kids ESPN, so like the kids wouldn't hear it, but like people like wouldn't look up to him as much because like it would kind of like taint his image, like because he starts cussing and stuff. I think that's why. Yeah.
Maybe not like the interviews, but more of like the commentary. Like just the commentary being dirty.
Like in game?
Yeah, and like the in the studio like halftime report.
I think that's where you're gonna get the most like
I think that would,
vulgar shit that people are saying. I mean that's like that's what you're wanting to pay for or whatever.
I think that would get
the people what they want.
Because then the players would probably try and hold back a little bit too.
I think if the announcers cuss though, it would get old pretty quick. Like it'd be funny if they could every now and then, but if they were like just trying to be purposely like dirty,
that would add a weird dynamic.
It would have to be really like natural.
Yeah, like that's why the players trash talking would be awesome.
Yeah, because they're just in the moment.
They're not like talking for an audience; they're just playing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't think you could just like let Mike Breen like say fuck. Yeah, like, that just wouldn't even be right.
Holy fuck!
Like, Mark Jackson, like. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would add a weird. I don't know.
There's an audience for it. I mean, Barstool Sports is like adjacent to that idea, like kind of.
They're just like unfiltered everything. I mean,
Harry, you and I used to be big Barstool fans in high school.
We were pretty early on. Yeah. I mean,
not anymore. I'm not really anymore. I don't even think I follow them anymore.
They're everywhere, so I see them, but. I don't follow like the characters and stuff anymore. I think some of them were kind of a little sellout-ish.
Yeah, it's hard.
The whole thing was based
though.
on the common man or whatever, but now that they're huge, they're not the common man anymore. So now they're a huge media company.
I mean, that's how it goes.
I mean, it's awesome, good for them, and it was cool that we kind of saw it from like a lower level, and now they're just massive.
They just stayed consistent. That was like their big thing. I think was just like being consistently unapologetic. That's really all it takes in today's world when everybody's got a platform.
Yeah, Dave's pretty fucking good at what he does, even though he's kind of a prick. Like he's
but a lot of it's a character. When I met him, and he was. You met him too, Quehl, didn't you?
We saw him on New Year's Eve in Miami.
I met him freshman year of college. He came to Ohio State, and he was at a fraternity party, and I snuck into the party. Just because I had to see them because I was a huge Barstool fan, like out of high school and into like freshman year of college. So like I went to their bus, which was like at this fraternity party, and I snuck in and talked to Dave for about an hour or two, probably an hour and a half. And he was a cool guy. I mean, he was really short, way shorter than I had thought.
He's a little guy.
But yeah, he did like the pizza thing, the pizza review. I had a slice of that pizza. It was a cool little fanboy moment for freshman year teacher. Yeah. I talked to him and Feidelberg. I talked to Feidelberg too. I asked him, I was like, how are you doing it? Like, how are you, building this up? And he's like, you just got to be consistent with it. You just got to, don't fold to people and just upload it and post stuff as much as you can. And like, unfortunately, I haven't been listening to that advice lately, but I'm working on it. But yeah, it was, interesting. But I was there for like, I don't know, an hour or two, and then I dipped. But yeah, I talked to him and like Feidelberg and then like a couple of other guys. Yeah, this was like 2016 I think it was 2016. So shout out to Barstool Sports, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how they like interviewed the president too. That's kind of tight, I guess.
Yeah, but that kind of caused some controversy with them because
you throw politics into the mix. It's always
exactly. They were never political really until then. But I mean,
is
also
that really
how do you
being political? Like,
I don't.
I know that like you're.
Well, Big Cat was one bitching about it.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say? Was he upset about it?
They didn't run it by him, and he was in on this like final contract that made their big pen deal, which was like their big buyout.
Yeah.
Where they made a ton of money, and he was in for that, and they said that he was a partner with them, and then they didn't run it by him that Dave was going to do this with Trump, and so he like threw a little fit about it. It wasn't. I don't know.
He felt like he was like
felt
not
like
being included
because they knew since he was very anti Barstool being political, and so they maybe knew that he would have tried to veto it, and that was his theory. But I don't know. I guess they made amends. Fine, but
are you really being political though? Like, especially when the president of the United States is asking you to interview them, like, how do you not say yes to that? Like, regardless of who the president is, like, how do you not say yes to that? Especially for just exposure and business reasons. Just, I don't know. I get it though. I guess it is kind of you are kind of taking a side, but are you? Like, you're just, they asked you if you want to interview them, and you're going to the White House. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to say no. So I see both sides, but you know what I absolutely hate?
What's that?
Multiple choice questions on
Why?
tests. They are so misleading because the thing with they're too finite for me. Multiple choice questions are too finite because literally you get the 4 answers. Like, but the thing with it is like I like the extended response questions more. Like, and as a college graduate, looking back on it, like those were the questions I think I excelled more like in test taking. So I think with multiple choice, like they trick you too. They put the little traps in there. Like, they'll get you with like two answers that are like the very same, but they're not. There's like one little difference, and you have to decide like what's different, and that's frustrating. I like to just explain things more. I feel like you can tell you have a better understanding because like it's so like you get 25% chance, so it's like, how much can you really show that you know something if you're just
it's a lot easier to guess on a multiple
yes,
choice
that's what I'm trying to say,
question.
I guess.
But that's all right. Like, if you're needing to guess, I'd rather have a multiple choice question than an extended answer. Because then you just make yourself sound like an idiot if you're trying to just guess on an extended, response.
But
question.
a lot of that stuff, like though, it's a lot easier to get one of those questions right though. The extended response, because like you can get it.
You can kind of fudge it.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
can kind of finesse it.
Work around it.
There's like little hint words that you can get that you can like work around, I guess. So that's just another thing. I'm getting into my current botherings, if you remember that from a previous episode.
That was test talk.
Yeah, that was test talk. Shout out to multiple choice questions that I hate. Also, I hate elevator patience.
Like, what?
So I hate being in an elevator. It makes me very like anxious.
Have you ever been stuck in an elevator?
Yes.
When?
I got stuck in an elevator, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, going out to my friend's apartment. It got stuck like between the second and third. It was only like a 3-floor elevator.
How long were you in there?
I was in there alone too, which is really anxiety-inducing. I was only in there for like 15 minutes. I was like ringing. I was literally in there, and I was like starting to get hot, and I was like ringing the bell, and they finally came and got me out. But yeah, I was in there. It was hot. But I actually didn't mind that as much as I hate crowded elevators. Crowded ones are the worst because you're just in there with smelly people, especially with Corona. Have you guys been in an elevator since Corona?
Yeah, for sure. I
Not a crowded one.
I don't know. I was at the beach, and that's really where you get gross people.
So, okay, I was also at the beach recently. This is a good topic. So, how was the beach?
Crowded.
Really?
Yeah. It was probably, I mean, this was like early June.
How many masks?
It was in Hilton Head. Not many. Definitely not many.
In Hilton Head?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And the beaches were like very packed.
A lot of people. Not a
people
lot of
everywhere. Almost like it didn't really exist there.
It's crazy. I went to Panama City with my family a couple weeks ago, and it was the same thing. Literally nobody was abiding by the rules. I was wearing a mask around for like the first day, and then as I was there, I gotta admit I kind of folded into the societal pressures because literally nobody else within 30 miles of me was wearing a mask, especially on the beach. I ran 2 miles down the beach every day and didn't see one mask. So I kind of just started neglecting it. Yikes. Sorry out there, my fellow Americans. But, I mean, I've been perfectly healthy and fine since then, and that was about 3 weeks ago, so I imagine I'm okay. But, yeah, it was crazy. I was just like, I totally get why these cities in these these states have like such high numbers with the infections, but at the same time, it's like how much of that like is actually like how much of that 150,000 like you think is actually accurate of what's reported?
I mean, I don't. I
mean, because like it's hard to tell. Obviously, like that's kind of a tough question, but like I feel like there's a lot more of it that's like that we don't know. Obviously that's true, but like there's a lot more under the surface of like the reporting. Like it's either being underreported or overreported in places. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to tell. It's also just like something that's like I don't know. It's consumed like everything lately.
I know. It sucks. I want to talk about other stuff, but like as soon as we talk about stuff, it just
always works
Corona just bleeds into our conversation, and it's just like, get out of here. It's been a strange couple months. How was graduation for everybody? Was it all online for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, so I went to University of South Carolina. To anyone that doesn't know, but. So yeah, we got cut off in March, and then obviously graduation got postponed, and it got rescheduled for like the beginning of August, and they were gonna do it in the football stadium and like allow people to come, and then that got canceled probably middle of July-ish, maybe a little earlier. So instead of having like an in-person graduation, they just put like they still did something in the stadium. It was like just on the Jumbotron. So, like, they put everyone's names up on the Jumbotron. I didn't even know it happened. I went to the YouTube video later and just kind of, like, fast-forwarded to the cues.
Yeah.
But, yeah, other than that, like, I got my diploma mailed. So,
it's frustrating. But, I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I didn't need to deal with all the cap and gown and all that crap.
No, I wasn't walking either way. So, like, honestly, I don't even really know what UK ended up doing. But I turned in everything I needed to do, so...
Yep.
That's all I really.
I didn't. Yeah, I never bought a cap and gown.
Yeah, the rest of it is really nothing. It doesn't really matter that much. I probably would have bought one like a cap and gown if I would have like I said actually like graduated. But obviously, it's not really that important. The diploma is more important, I suppose.
It's also just like a long day, and like you don't know any of the other people graduating with you. I mean, obviously you have your friends and stuff, but like. I don't really care to do that.
Especially,
I really wasn't mad that like it got canceled. To be completely honest.
That was definitely not the worst.
That was the least of the worries.
We missed out on a lot more than that.
like the notion of it's cool, but like the ceremony itself would just be
especially because it's hot.
Yeah,
when
they said that they were going to do it in the stadium in Columbia, South Carolina in August, I was like, I was like, I'm not going to go to that. If
people
they do,
would be passing out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, I know. It'd be weird.
And like USC's camel gowns are black too, just a whole black robe and hat. You'd just be
that's
burning up.
That's hot. Here's a fun question I've written down. I'm just like kind of going through my notes for anybody that's wondering where I'm coming up with all these random, like the multiple choice thing. That was just a note I had written. I'm just trying to find some fun things to talk about. What is the weakest and strongest of your 5 senses? So, smell, touch.
My weakest
sight.
is definitely sight.
Yep, me too.
I'm like basically legally blind without my glasses, so sight is definitely my worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely sight as well. If I don't have contacts in, it's over.
Damn.
But I don't know, my best.
I don't really. I don't really consider myself like exceptional at any sense.
Really, because a lot of people say like, "Oh, I have a great sense of smell," or "I have a great like hearing ability," or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really read into it, but I suppose I trust my sense of smell and taste, which work hand in hand.
Those are probably the best ones. Actually, I don't know.
Having like
how do you measure which one's the best
nice.
one? What's the best sense?
I think sight.
Yeah, probably.
What do you
sight,
think though?
Right?
If you had to lose one, what are you losing?
Man, that's hard. Probably my.
I'm trying to think of like what
I know,
losing your sense of like touch would be like.
You'd be just numb.
Yeah.
Like, would you be numb?
Yeah, you'd just be completely numb, right?
But
No
would you be able to?
endings?
I mean, you'd be able to feel pain. Though?
I don't know.
Like, would you be able to? I don't know.
Well, you can't feel anything. How do you feel? Huh.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know.
losing that one would be weird. But
Yeah, it'd probably just be your fingers would be numb.
I swear I'd lose my sense.
Your
of
hands. Your hands would be
I don't
numb.
know.
Smell and taste are like hand in hand though. Like if you can't smell, you like lose a lot of your taste.
I have a buddy who can't smell anything, and so therefore he can't taste anything, and like it's wild. Like
Damn,
you can give him like literally anything to take a bite of or eat, and it all just tastes like nothing.
That
wild.
sucks. Dude.
I know,
That
dude.
sucks so
And, like,
bad.
Honestly, like if I'm in those shoes, like I'm just eating healthy all the time.
Yeah.
He'll just like
I
eat
guess
like
that's
fast food and stuff, but like if you can't taste it, then why?
Yeah, like what's even the point of eating fast food? That'd
You
be
could-
the
yeah,
only
like-
reason to eat it.
I
You
mean,
could eat like so cheap too.
yeah, for sure.
That's true.
Just get like really terrible like rice and like beans all the time. Like
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain extent, like I don't know. I mean, you don't just want to be eating like the worst, most boring food, but I guess if you can't taste it, it doesn't really matter.
yeah, I guess you gotta like you can decide how hardcore you want to be about it.
But like, how do you decide like what you're in the mood
I'd
for?
probably lose my sense of smell.
How do you like decide when you're hungry? Like I feel like
No, I mean, you can feel hunger.
yeah, but like
How
I
are
don't
you
know,
like? How
there's-
can you be like? All right, I want pizza tonight.
Like-
what's the difference between pizza and a burger or something?
True.
You can't taste it.
but like when you're hungry, you get like the experience
consistency of it.
the experience of like satisfying your hunger with like a tasty food is so nice. Like if you can't taste it, is it like does it still feel good to like fill yourself up when you're hungry, or does it just feel like something like a chore?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
like you can't just be like, what am I in the mood for? Nothing sounds good.
I'm in the mood for the thing that tastes exactly like the thing I ate earlier.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you can like really tell is just if it's crunchy or chewy.
Yeah, the consistency.
So like, what about like with drinks?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Everything just tastes like water. Hey, that's good for your account.
That's gotta be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're just taking back like alcohol
I'd-
because it just tastes the same.
I'd probably lose my sense of smell.
Probably have to
If
shy
I had to- if I
away
had-
from liquor.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
just a dangerous game.
If I had to lose a sense, it'd be my sense of smell. Because like, there's a lot of bad odors. I mean, there's
That's
a lot
it,
of good
yeah.
ones too, I guess. But like, There's a lot of.
But then you lose your taste.
Yeah, smell.
There's a lot of taste comes from the ability to smell.
Yeah, but there'll still be enough taste there for me to like have a sense of a taste. And
you just have to like load up on hot sauce all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I do anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm already on that.
It's not the biggest L ever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to avoid bad smells, that wouldn't be a terrible choice.
Yeah,
but it's like, how often does a bad smell like just ruin your day?
I mean, it can happen. There's some rough odors out there. There's also some really good. You know what's always crazy about that kind of stuff is like when they try and manufacture like odors and tastes. You know,
like how do they do that?
Yeah, like how do they get that smell? How do they get something to smell like apples?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. That's something I'm just going to like let exist.
It's got to be like extracts or something, or like artificial, I don't know, flavorings.
Yeah. Well, obviously, but like how do they like that's so weird how they get it to taste like some of them. But then like other ones don't taste like them. Like strawberry and like watermelon flavor doesn't taste like strawberries and watermelons. Like they don't taste like the fruit.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like if you have a watermelon flavored candy, it doesn't taste like watermelon. Not like cherries would.
Or like pineapple.
Like or pineapple, yeah.
Banana. I swear it's just extracts or something, or like
maybe they get the juices out of them. They squeeze the juice out of it and they just add sugar. That's a good question for like that show, How It's Made. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a good one. It's crazy like how like some like the like most mundane objects like sometimes have like really like difficult processes to make them. Like, have you ever seen like the factories that build like the water bottles and they or like the Coke bottles that are like the the glass bottles, you know, and you see them, they come out, they're really hot and then they cool down and they go around the circle thing and it's like a giant conveyor belt.
Yeah.
It's crazy like how much effort they go through to make bottles that end up getting drank out of and most of the time, a lot of times just poured out of and then disposed of. But they go through like all that trouble of like mass producing that.
Well,
I mean, you gotta have like something to hold the liquid.
Yeah, I mean that's why like they're all going to plastic bottles, I guess. But that's like bad for the environment, I guess, or something. That's TJ, aka Al Gore, right there, giving you your environmental facts. But yeah. One thing I want to talk about right now is something that has been on my bucket list for a long time. I have always wanted to travel to all 50 states. I've talked about this on the podcast before. What's one state, like low-key state that you've never been to that you'd want to go to?
Montana.
Yeah, Montana would be sweet. I don't know. I also would love to see like Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii's like, it's weird because it doesn't even seem like America. I feel like I've never been there, but
I've never been
because it's
either.
so like off the coast. Like it's not even close. I feel like.
Yeah, that's why I think it'd be really cool to go to.
Yeah, it's like
just beautiful.
I think Alaska would be pretty like. I mean, it would
Alaska's
maybe not
the same way.
Not like your like average like vacation, but like it would just be cool to see a lot of the stuff.
Alaska's like, there's like so much land in Alaska. I feel like that's just not even used.
Yeah, I mean it's the biggest state in the United States.
I know, it's crazy. It's so much land. And like I've heard that's a huge like there's a lot of oil there. Like a lot of like unused oil deposits in Alaska. So I've heard from my the grapevine. No, I think I read that online.
Good for Alaska, I guess.
I think Montana would be sweet. That like kind of part of the country seems pretty awesome. Like that, especially like a Montana like rich, like that kind of wealth where you own like a big ranch or something out there is pretty cool. You just like fly a helicopter around. Have you ever seen the show Yellowstone?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's all about this family that owns the biggest ranch in Montana. and like so they're just loaded, and they like it's a very cool, aesthetically pleasing show to watch, and it's good.
What is it on Netflix?
Paramount.
Paramount.
I bought it on Amazon. I bought the first 2 seasons.
Oh,
how much did it cost?
Oh, it was like $20 or something like that. I don't know. It was good, but season 3 is going on right now. It's a pretty electric show. It's good. It's a lot of like family power struggle dynamic, and people trying to people trying to build casinos and things on their land and things like that. So
yeah, and that
gets pretty exciting
and all that.
Yeah,
interesting.
Fun show.
Yeah. What other shows are you guys watching? During the queue.
I started watching that Umbrella Academy show. It's not the best show I've ever seen, but it's like pretty easy to watch, and it just like it's like one of those shows that you can keep on like kind of in the background, like while you're scrolling your phone or something, and then like it's got a really good soundtrack that like kind of like they'll like fight people to like a nice like song, which is kind of cool. Like it's just something. It's really just something like I'm watching to pass my time.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of. I finished Sopranos the other night. Completely finished the series. I had started it like a year ago and just kind of been on and off with it. Finally sat down and cranked out the last season, and without spoiling anything for those who still haven't seen it, I liked it. I liked the ending. I think the ending was kind of I thought it was kind of ballsy, but at the same time, not everything worked for me. Not all the character stuff worked for me, but it was cool. It's kind of dated, I think, some of the stuff, but obviously it's like one of the best TV shows for a reason. I think everybody kind of says that, and I agree. I think it's great. I can't say anything that hasn't been said already.
What are your top 5 TV shows all time series?
I'd probably put it in my top 5. Sopranos. I don't know where I'd put it.
Go no order.
I don't even know what my 5 would be, because like some of them that I love haven't even finished yet.
Yeah,
I really like Barry right now. That's like middle of going on right now. That's one that I think you should watch if you haven't seen it.
Barry's good.
I really like Succession.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that's really good. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Cool show.
I should check
cool
that
how
out
it's shot
tonight.
too. It's like a very interesting look.
Yeah, I feel that. Succession. But to answer your question, I'd probably put Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Avatar: Last Airbender. What else? Sopranos. What else do I love? Like I said, I love Rick and Morty too. That's one that I think's really fun, really smart. Yeah, I'm not the biggest TV guy in the world.
Yeah,
I'm more of a movies guy. But I've been trying to dabble in the TV game as well.
My parents haven't.
Stranger Things. That's another one that I've been really loving.
My parents haven't seen Breaking Bad, so that's what we've been watching lately. So I'm like on my 3rd time watching it through, but they're like, they're into it.
Yeah,
it's a fun show.
That show is great. It's probably my favorite of all time. That and Avatar are like my top 2, probably.
Yeah, we're at the part 2 where it's like just starting to get good, and like Pollos Hermanos is getting introduced, and Gus and all that. So
dude,
like,
what an amazing character!
Yeah, wild stuff.
Amazing villain. Yeah, that show is really great. I mean, it starts off slow, but man, does it pay off.
Yeah, powering through like the first 2 seasons is worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that with every show. Like every show needs those early episodes to just build that foundation, and then once they get you to care about the characters, then they play with them. So, I mean, yeah, those episodes are boring when they're sitting at the dinner table, the breakfast table, just like staring
like
at each other, like
depressing
awkwardly.
house ever. It's like a little. I mean, everything about the house is depressing. And then you got Walt Jr. Like a lot of it's kind of tough. Skylar might be. I think she might be one of my least favorite like television characters of all time.
Yeah,
I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, no.
I loved that show. I loved her character though. She was such a good like hateable like she wasn't a villain though. Like Walt was the villain, but they made a good job of making her like seem like worse than Walt because like she bitched so much and complained so much. But like Walt was really the one doing all of the crimes. Like, but yeah, I just love like those kind of shows with really dense like side characters. The side characters are like everything. Like if you
for sure.
Like in a TV show, like in a movie, you can get away with like having kind of blah side characters because like it's only 2 hours. Like in a show, everybody needs to at least have some sort of significance. Like that's why I think a lot of shows get lost in that and they try to throw too much at you. But yeah. But
what's the show that you think you've watched through the most?
Like the most times?
Yeah. Like for me, it's Entourage. I've seen Entourage. Like
I forgot about Entourage. I love that one.
9 times. Through.
Entourage is in my top 5.
It's so easy just to turn on. You can just rip through episodes. But
yeah, Entourage would be my top 5. I'll sit down and make a top 5, a top 10, or whatever. Originally, I'm gonna start doing more of those top 10s and tier lists and stuff. I have some ideas for that moving forward. But I love Entourage. That's a fun show. I think the first season's amazing. The first, I'd say, like 4 or 5 seasons are really good, and then once Vince gets addicted to drugs, it kind of starts to slip off
some
for
people.
me.
I don't know. There's parts of me that like don't hate that season, but
and then the final season, I think it just was kind of it lost its luster for me. I was like, it kind of I'm fine with that ending, but the first season, like I said, the first 3 or 4 seasons are amazing. They're so good.
Just the amount of cameos and things they have on that show.
Yeah, and the way they make it work and the humor and like.
They actually just started a podcast. Kevin Dillon, who plays drama.
Oh, really?
Doug Ellen, who's the director, and then Connolly, who's E.
Yeah. They're doing like a recap podcast.
Yeah. So each episode of the show is
its own episode.
The episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And they've had guys like Gary Busey on there, Jerry Ferrara, who plays Turtle. Like
that's cool.
Sloane, she was on there. So yeah, no, it was good.
That's cool. I like how they're doing that with a lot of like podcasts are like going back, especially now. It's a perfect time to be doing that because like everybody's quarantined. They're going back and binging a lot of those shows, like the Entourages and Sopranos and Breaking Bads and all of that. So like, this is a huge time. The podcast renaissance is upon us, people. We're here, and Michelle Obama has a podcast now, so that's my competition. I need to get more streams than Michelle Obama. Let's go, people. But yeah, it is weird though. Podcasts, we're on the up and come. That's why I was like, I need to hop on the wave. Now, like last year, I was like, I just need to do it. Now I got the stuff, I got the equipment. I'm ready to just keep moving forward. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Absolutely,
This has been awesome. We'll do this again whenever. I mean, I want to keep cranking out more episodes, so whenever. Yeah,
Teach. Thanks for having us.
Anything you guys want to plug or share?
No, man. Just here for the good conversation.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Check me out on all the social media and all that stuff. I'm going to be having more episodes coming. I might even do some more solo stuff coming up as well. So you'll be seeing more of my beautiful mug up on your feeds coming soon. I also dropped a new Instagram page for the podcast at the TJ Martino Podcast on Instagram. Follow there for all news and other stuff. But yeah, like I said, guys, thanks for coming on. Follow me on all the social media. And we'll keep the ball rolling. Episode 22. That's a wrap. And drop that beat.